Now I'm ready.
And I'm feeling good.
Well, hey there, Lemonheads, and welcome back to the Lemonade Stand, or welcome if you are new. My name is Brianna. I'm a certified personal trainer, a big, huge biology nerd, and a registered dietitian to be. We are gathered here today for me to complain about, have an in-depth analytical conversation about Dietbet. Before we proceed, if you love science-based health, wellness, and fitness education with some lulz and some dry sarcasm along the way, hit that subscribe button and join the Lemonade Stand. I would seriously love to have you here. So without further ado, let's make lemonade. Pink lemonade. Oh my God. That incessant grunting and whining is my foster puppy, Stormy. She's in the room with me right now. She hears my husband outside taking them each out like for walks. And she's just excited because she gets walkies. She hears my husband coming in and out, and she hears a dog stomping around. And she's just super upset. Stormy, come here. She loves to jump in my lap. Let's see if she'll do it. Oh, she did it. Hey, baby. Hey, baby. Look at this face. No, that's my lemonade. Anyway, so Dietbet. Dietbet is something that plenty of you guys have asked me to talk about before. I've definitely heard of it. I've heard why a lot of people find it so controversial. I've seen some people on the internet call it a scam. I'm not saying it's a scam. That's just, I've seen that in some places. I've seen people talk a lot about Lexi Reed, aka Fat Girl Fed Up. I've seen some people who love it and can't get enough of it. What's really finally prompted me to talk about it, honestly, is that a Beachbody super trainer named Joel Freeman and my personal bestie, Melissa McAllister, I call her my bestie because of the love letter that she sent me. And by love letter, I mean cease and desist. That video is right here if you want to see me talk about that experience and hear me read the entire letter. I'll link it below. So she and Joel Freeman ran one back in October, and I actually think they have one starting the first week in January, which is as I speak because I'm filming this on Friday, January 6th. So it might have already started, or if it hasn't started yet, it's probably starting very soon because I remember the date was the first week in January. Something else that is very ironic about this is while I was working on the script for this video, I went on the Dietbet website, you know, like for my research and stuff like that. And like right on the homepage, there were a few other people that were also running Dietbets. And they're not just like anybody. These are big figures in social media that you probably heard of, who ironically are all affiliated with Beachbody. I'm sorry, I'm laughing because of the irony. They're all affiliated with Beachbody. Autumn Calabrese and registered dietitian Ilana Molstein. I say again, registered dietitian Ilana Molstein. I know, I'm upset about it too, girl. Two figures that you probably heard of if you were familiar with the multi-level marketing company Beachbody. This video is not about Beachbody. This video is about Dietbet, but it's just so ironic that some of the most popular diet bets running right now, or that are about to start very soon, are being run by people who are affiliated with Beachbody. So, I don't know. That's something. So Melissa McAllister and Joel Freeman hosted a diet bet. Because it was Melissa McAllister, I have history with Melissa McAllister, so it piqued my interest more than usual. I find it interesting when, I was about to say celebrities, but I don't know if celebrity is necessarily the right word. Like social media public figures, I guess. Based on how Dietbet works, I see, this is a personal opinion, this is all my opinion. I see people like them hosting diet bets as a way to just make some really easy money. I'm not mad at making money. What we do need to talk about is what Dietbet is and how it works, and why I just said that, in my opinion, it seems like a way for somebody famous, or I guess like internet famous, to make easy money. I'll explain what I mean by that. Dietbet is an internet-based weight loss service. I think at one point they may have had a physical headquarters. I went to Google and I typed in what is Dietbet, and a physical address actually came up in New York City, but it does say that it's permanently closed. So in simple terms, Dietbet works by someone making a bet that they are going to lose a certain amount of weight. That bet is usually in the ballpark of like $20 to $50. I've even seen some that go up to $100. Personally, the bet amount that I've seen the most frequently is about $35. You bet that you'll lose a certain amount of weight, 4% of your body weight for the Kickstarter game, or 10% of your weight for the transformation game. So effectively, you are betting money that you will lose a certain amount of weight in this time frame. So the amount of money that goes into the pot is determined by the amount of people playing the game. The more people who play the game, the more money ultimately goes into the pot. Those who lose the weight and make it through the game, they get their money back that they bet, plus they get a cut of the money that is remaining in the pot. Now, the money that's remaining in the pot, those are the bets of people who didn't complete the game, Like maybe they didn't lose the weight, maybe they dropped out. So for whatever reason, they forfeited their bet and you lose your bet. And that's the money that remains in the pot. Now, for each of these diet bets, there is a host. As you can infer, the host is the person who hosts the game. Now, in my own personal, big, fat, well-researched opinion, the host is not in this just for the spirit of competition or for genuinely helping people. If you're hosting a diet bet, you actually have plenty to gain, especially if a lot of bets have been placed. At the end of the game, after diet bet takes their fees, because they do take a decent chunk of fees, and the winners who stuck in the game and achieve their weight loss goal, thus winning their bet, after they get paid, that's when the host gets their money. And depending on the size of the pot, that can be quite a substantial amount of money. I'm going to show you guys an example I found online researching for this video, because honestly, this can be really confusing because there are quite a bit of numbers. So if you're a similar learner to me, you kind of need things drawn out right in front of you so you can understand better. So what I'm about to read is from a website called wendysweightjourney.com. This reads, consider a Kickstarter game that has a $200,000 pot and 60% of players win. If the entry fee was $35, that means there are about 5,714 people in the game. At 60%, that's 3,428 winners. If Diet Bet takes 25%, that's $50,000. The 3,428 winners are now left to split $150,000, which is about $43.75 per winner. Each winner profits $8.75, taking out the $35 entry fee, while Diet Bet and the game host somehow split $50,000. I don't know the exact percentage taken by Diet Bet versus the game host, but I know hosts can earn up to 20% of the pot for some games. Suffice to say, for someone with a large following, with a lot of people placing bets, the host can stand to win quite a large amount of money. That's what I meant before when I said, as a host, if they're very popular online and have a really big following, this is an easy way to make a lot of money in a relatively short amount of time. Because, and let's be totally honest here, every single person who places a bet is not going to win. It is not going to complete the goal. Some people drop out, some people just don't achieve the goal, which in the end ultimately leaves more money for the host to collect. And they really don't have to do anything. That leads us to the next part of this discussion is, how does all this work? What does a host even do? So let's say I'm hosting a diet bet. Let's say my name is Melissa. I don't know, that's just the first thing that comes to my mind. I have a really big following and a lot of people listen to me for some bizarre reason. And I decide I want to host a diet bet for my almost 300,000 Instagram followers. So I decided to advertise my diet bet, and already I have a bunch of people signing up. The pot is pretty big. Good for me. I need that money for all my financial freedom. So now at this point as a host, is my job really done? Well, technically yes, but like ethically no. Let me explain. If you're hosting one of these diet bets, the expectation is that you'll be an engaged host for your participants. Maybe sharing some tips to help people with weight loss. Maybe I share some recipes, just overall help and support in general. Again, this is an online platform, so everyone who's playing this game has access to me through this platform. So the Diet Bet website shares some tips about being a good host. As a host of your game, your players will look to you to set the tone, start conversations, and provide extra energy and motivation. Of course, every game will have its own personality depending on the players, but here are some ideas to make your game a rewarding experience for everyone. Post things in your game that get people talking. Give a specific prompt, like asking everyone to share their favorite healthy breakfast or one temptation they'll face that week and how they'll handle it. Add bonus prizes. Some hosts like to host giveaways that people get involved. For example, you could ask everyone to take a sweaty selfie. I've always thought that was so fucking disgusting, by the way. Not that I've never done that before. Like, I've definitely posted like a post-workout selfie or whatever, but I don't know. I think I don't like the names. I think I don't like the word combination sweaty selfie. That sounds gross. And give a prize to one randomly selected player who completes the challenge. So based on my research and observation, this is where a lot of grievances lie when certain big figures host these bets. Take Lexi Reed of Fat Girl Fed Up, for example. While I was researching for this video, her name came up a lot. I've watched YouTube videos and read some like Reddit threads about her diet bets, and a very similar theme continues to pop up. A lot of people don't like her hosting these bets because she doesn't do anything. Take a few of these Reddit comments, for example, that I found. I was approached by Dietbet and asked to host. I agreed because Dietbet did help me lose weight. I can't remember how much I got per person, less than Lexi. I ended up quitting hosting and Instagram because the way Lexi handled diet bets and her terrible editing and behavior made me feel scummy. The main problem Lexi had with her diet bets is she never f***ing did anything. She didn't post, comment, share recipes, nothing. She was obviously too dumb to pay someone to pretend to be her and keep people happy. When I hosted bets, I gave people shopping lists of my favorite healthy foods and recipes. We had challenges and really encouraged each other to succeed. I'd spend hours DMing people and helping them, and I think the most I ever made hosting was less than $60. Lexi was making tens of thousands, and it was clear she didn't give one shit about the people in her diet bet. I really have not said much about the situation because the reason my Instagram got popular is that Lexi contacted me and asked me to share my story on her page. I felt a bit guilty once I saw the light, and also I'm pretty sure it was actually her friend and employee at the time, Amanda, who contacted me. Lexi Reed / Fat Girl Fed Up is hosting yet another diet bet. No doubt she will put in minimum effort, refuse to post her own weight / weight loss, and interact with participants as little as possible while still taking their money. I joined one of her diet bets 2 years ago and haven't gained the weight back, so I had a soft spot for her. But she really does the bare minimum. I don't think she cares about helping anyone at all. I don't think she even participates in the game. She doesn't seem to be losing any of the weight she gained. She has gained back so much weight and does the bare minimum. She posts her workouts that are 30 minutes on the elliptical or her sitting down bike, and that's it. She honestly rarely posts much of anything at all and definitely doesn't participate in the diet bets because she won't post her weight and admit how much she's gained. And those are just a few things that I found. It seems like common internet opinion is that Lexi Reed, aka Fat Girl Fed Up, is not a great diet bet host at all. And then the other people I mentioned who were the impetus for this video, Melissa McAllister and Joel Freeman also hosted and are hosting a diet bet. Just like Lexi Reed, they're very well-known figures. Again, Joel Freeman is a Beachbody super trainer, and Melissa McAllister is a top Beachbody coach. If you take a close look, I mean, not that close because it's pretty obvious. If you look closely at Beachbody's most recent income disclosure statement, it's pretty obvious that Melissa McAllister, being where she's at, probably doesn't do that much real work. I mean, like, people in multi-level marketing companies are saying that they're leaders all the time, but they're not really. They're not actually leading people to do anything useful in the real world. You really don't get any useful job skills in a multi-level marketing company. You don't get a certificate. You don't get a degree. I feel like it's debatable that they do work. Melissa McAllister is probably high enough that she really doesn't have to do much of anything in terms of work. And that speculation is confirmed when you look at her Instagram at any given day, really. She's very frequently traveling to, fun looking and exotic places. So clearly the business model is working for her. But remember, she's in the top, probably less than 0.5% of the whole company. For most Beachbody consultants who are at the lowest rank, the coach rank, this is just not the reality for them. Then you have Joel Freeman, who for the millionth time is a Beachbody super trainer. Now, super trainers are not the same as consultants for the company. They are, I believe, contractually tied to Beachbody and are tasked with doing things like creating fitness programs to go on Body. And then also, if you're Alana Molstein or Autumn Calabrese, two people who are, again, very ironically also operating diet bets right now or very soon, they make nutrition plans, which are also marketed and sold through Beachbody LLC. So I can't even begin to speculate how much Beachbody super trainers make, but I imagine it's correlated to their individual popularity and the popularity and success of whatever programs they create, maybe. So how much money Joel Freeman makes, I have no idea. Beachbody super trainers are not paid the same as Beachbody representatives. There's no compensation plan or income disclosure statement released for the super trainers. I don't think there is. Is there? No. The reason I'm bringing up money right now and wondering how much people make is because it all comes back to Dietbet. My speculation, and I'm formulating an opinion, that Joel Freeman, while he probably does make a decent amount of money being a Beachbody super trainer, I still believe that him and the big figures that host these diet bets, in my opinion, host these diet bets as an easy, low effort way to make money. Once again, that is my opinion. My humble, well-researched opinion. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Anyway, so like I said, Melissa and Joel have hosted a few of these diet bets before. They have one that they're starting this month. As for what kind of hosts they are, I cannot comment on that. Despite my history with Melissa, I don't follow her at all. I really only knew she was hosting a diet bet because somebody told me. So for all I know, she and Joel are really great hosts and they post and engage daily. Great, love that for them. Whether they're good hosts, oh my god, Zeus is so cute right now. Whether they're good hosts or not though, I mean, I still hold the opinion. I still personally think whenever well-known public figures like them host diet bets, it's just an easy, low-effort way to make some fast money. Let's say somebody who actually does host. If I were going to host one of these things, let's say I'm as well-known as Joel Freeman or Melissa McAllister or Lexi Reed. I post once or twice a day for 4 weeks. I share some uplifting posts, and then at the end of it, I get like 5, 15, 20 grand. That is a stupid easy way to pull in some extra cash without doing a whole lot. It's not hard to post on social media. You can do it from the toilet. I think it's time for a white fudge covered Oreo. These are technically out of season now, I believe. I have not been able to get them like at all, and it's been awful. But a friend of mine, who's the real MVP, she's actually a former client of mine. She and I are now good friends. She sent me a box of like housewarming goodies. She called it a housewarming present. And in it, she put 6 boxes of white fudge covered Oreos. So I was like, oh, I'm set for at least 2 days. I'm just kidding. They've lasted longer than that. I'm on my 3rd box though. So the biggest thing about Diet Bet that always gets me is that I would imagine that these things are very easy to manipulate, cheat, and win your bet. I also personally see it as not sustainable. First of all, most of them are just 4 weeks. And also, depending on who your host is, they're probably not teaching you anything life-changing. Because a lot of the times, from what I've observed, people are not losing weight for these things to change their life and improve their health for the long term. They're just losing weight to win some money in a few weeks. If I were going to do a diet bet, here's what I would do. This is so easy to manipulate. In the 3 to 4 days leading up to the first official weigh-in, I would eat a shit ton, like everything in sight. Especially a ton of like really carb heavy meals so I retain a lot of water. So the day of the first weigh-in, and for my photos, I am super bloated. The scale is up like 6, 8, maybe even 10 pounds. And then over the course of the next 4 weeks during the game, I just go back to eating normally. Maybe I'll shave like 100 or 200 calories off my off my normal intake. Just keep on doing my thing in the gym. Then it's time for the final weigh-in again, and oh my god, look at that. I lost the weight and won my bet. Yay me! From the standpoint of a participant of the game, in my opinion, all of that is not worth like $42. As I am editing this video, it has also just occurred to me that as a host, it would actually kind of be in your best interest for people to not finish the game or not make the goal, because that would ultimately leave more money for you at the end of the competition. Now, if you check with Dietbet about this, they say they do take cheating very seriously. They say they have a 2-photo validation process, so let's read about it. When you submit an official weigh-in, you're given a time-specific weigh-in word, which you need to write down on a piece of paper. Then you take 2 photos, one full-length photo of you standing on the scale and one of the scale's readout with the weigh-in word visible. This process prevents players from submitting old photos or falsely reporting their weight. Okay, in terms of falsely reporting their weight, how do they know I've been gorging myself with food for the last 4 days? They don't. So if my weight on the scale reads a certain amount, how can they say that that's false? They also say that they have a team of, quote, diet bet referees, end quote. And they individually review weight submissions, and if they see anything fishy, then your weigh-in is rejected and you have to do it again. I looked into this, and the referees are just like regular people. They're employees of Dietbet who have participated in Dietbet themselves. I guess they just like use their best judgment. Here's more about what they say about cheating. The weigh-in process described above helps ensure that people do not reuse old photos or have somebody else weigh in for them, while the human review for each weigh-in provides an additional layer of security. Our referees have played in Dietbet games themselves and know how to look out for red flags that an automated system would miss. On top of that, we have automated algorithms that flag players' accounts when unusual weight loss patterns are detected. If a player loses or gains weight in a way that seems suspicious or unhealthy, we reach out to them to address the concerns. Players whose accounts have been flagged must submit video weigh-ins until the flag is lifted. For any game where the bets are over $100, we require video weigh-ins for all players. Given that these are weight loss competitions with real money on the line, we have a zero tolerance policy when it comes to cheating. If anyone is caught not representing their weight properly, they will be ejected from the site without a refund and banned from playing in future games. Now you may be wondering how they're even watching your weight. One way is that you have the option to submit an unofficial weigh-in, as they put it. They recommend, so not require, that you update your weight this way every 4 days. Now, if I'm planning on cheating, I'll just opt out of this, right? Obviously. They say they're watching you for unusual weight loss patterns. What does that even mean? Because my guess is, like anything that involves people losing a large amount of weight in a short amount of time, after the game is over, most people, not everyone, but most people probably regain the weight that they lose after the game is over. Is that considered unusual to them? Because to me, that's actually not unusual. To me, that actually seems right on par with people who crash diet. Oh, speaking of crash diets, what about how people go about losing weight on Dietbet? Let's chat about that after I eat the rest of this cookie. So how you lose weight on your Dietbet is completely up to you. They even say, on our Dietbet website, we aim to make it fun to lose and maintain weight, but since we don't know you personally, and even if we did, we are agnostic as to how you should go about accomplishing your weight goals. So there it is right there. They don't really care how you go about losing your weight. This is a huge corporation. They don't know what you're gonna do, so why wouldn't you lose any amount of weight you could to win your bet back? And like an extra $8, depending on the size of the pot. This is what I think and assume a lot of participants probably do. For many of us, money is a big motivator. In my opinion, sometimes money can be a good way to motivate yourself. For example, during my last semester of school, I was only uploading to YouTube about once a week, sometimes even less than that. Then we bought a house from out of state, then we moved halfway across the country, and I didn't upload a single video for a month, maybe even a little more than that. So what happened? My ad revenue dropped drastically. While YouTube is not my only source of income, it is my main source of income, I would say. After the fall semester was over, after we got settled into the house, after the chaos and traveling of the holidays had passed, it motivated me to get my ass in gear and get back to a regular content creation schedule, to get my ad revenue back up to where I'm more comfortable having it. That's the situation, in my opinion anyway. A lot of people, that's very subjective. A lot of people are gonna disagree with that. So that's a situation, in my opinion, where I think money motivating is not a bad thing. Now, in my opinion, this whole thing is my opinion, being motivated to lose weight just to win 30, 40, 50, I don't know, maybe $1,000. I don't think that's a very good motivator, because are you going to do that for the rest of your life? When you win that money, some people might be like, yay, money. Then they just go back to their previous lifestyle and then regain back all the weight that they lost. Or some of you that actually love Dietbet and feel that it really worked out well for you might be watching this. Well, actually, when I win a bet, I feel really motivated and I want to do another one, so I do another bet, thus continuing the weight loss. Okay, but guess what though? Dietbet actually cuts you off at a certain point. If your BMI is under 18.5, or if your BMI will be under 18.5 after you lose 4% of your body weight, you can't play the game. Although Dietbet does say that they really can't micromanage how you lose weight, they do kind of share what not to do and do say that your weight loss should be healthy. Although we leave it to you on how to win your game, we will tell you how not to do that. As tempting as it may be to engage in short-term tactics to win, we discourage such practices. They go on to say, it won't help you get what we all really care about, a sustainably healthy lifestyle over the long run, which in my opinion is very ironic. What are the chances that the Dietbet that Autumn Calabrese is running, or will run soon, depending on whenever this video goes up, that she's going to encourage people to use the container system or do the 4-week gut protocol, two nutrition programs that have been heavily scrutinized and criticized by actual nutrition professionals and healthcare professionals? Because remember, Autumn Calabrese is not a nutrition professional in any way, shape, or form. Her programs are scrutinized and criticized all the time by nutrition professionals across social media for being highly restrictive, unsustainable, and just inappropriate for a lot of people, especially the 4-week gut protocol. Also, reminder, I've actually done the 21-day fix / ultimate portion fix, whatever the fuck it's called. It was terrible. And personally, I would rather be shot in the foot than ever do it again. Moving on. Not to mention everybody else who does a Dietbet that really, quite frankly, is probably probably gonna do some crash diet to try and lose the weight. Yes, they recommend that you don't do that stuff and they ask that you don't do that stuff, but let's be realistic. How are they gonna know if you do? In conclusion, have you ever done a diet bet before? Are you currently doing a diet bet? Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Why or why not? Let me know. I'm genuinely curious. While researching for this video, I came across people of all different camps. Even though I do feel like a majority of the research I did, and you know, full disclosure, I did not search every single web page on the entire internet, but of the research I did do between like Reddit and YouTube and stuff like that, I feel like most opinions about Dietbet were not really positive, and I saw more criticism for it than I did see support. But I did come across the occasional posts of people who say that they liked it and it worked for them or that they enjoyed it. I think I read a couple in those Reddit posts. These things are not always black and white. There's always going to be those people that these things work for and that maybe they actually really like it. So if you love Dietbet and you have actually made it to this point and you have not yet left an angry comment, I'm genuinely curious, why do you like it? And why do you think it worked for you so well, even though it was so short term? So to close, this video, I guess, was more my rants and opinions on diet bets. I mean, I guess you could call it a deep dive. I don't know, was it super deep? Maybe not quite like a deep dive. What's in the middle of shallow and deep? It's like a 5-foot dive. When I stand in the 5 feet in the pool, like this much of me is out of the water. I learned more about the many issues that people have regarding Lexi Reed and Dietbet. It's very interesting, honestly. Like, I wonder what made the founder of Dietbet think of this. Like, what gave them this idea? Make people pay to lose weight and then they can maybe win their money back plus a little bit of extra money. It's interesting. I'm not saying that to be sarcastic. I genuinely find it interesting. All right. I'm gonna roll the outro now because Zeus is licking his butthole. I'll wait for him to stop and then I'll show him being cute. I think in my video that went up last week, in the outro, he was also licking his butt. So I think it's time for his anal glands to get expressed. If in fact you made it to the end of this video, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate you. You are the real MVP. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button. If you want to hear more of my ramblings, hit the subscribe button. Once again, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Queen Lemon, over and out. Also, Happy New Year. I didn't say that in my videos last week. The videos that went up last week were filmed in 2022, so it didn't occur to me that they were going to go up in 2023. I'm saying it now. Happy New Year. Oh my goodness, he's doing a sploot. He's doing a sploot. You are so cute. Oh my god. You are so cute. He's chilling. He had skaties. He loves skaties. FYI, skaties is when my husband, oh my god, he's gonna fall. He's nodding off. You're so cute. My husband puts the harness on him, and then my husband goes outside, goes in the street, and Zeus will just take off. And my husband is on a skateboard. Zeus pulls him on the skateboard, and he just loves it. It's his favorite thing in the world.